feel free to interrupt me if you want to, or you want to add a comment in the chat. I'll kind of present a couple and then come back to you guys and see how you're doing. And you may know some of these already, but they're good reminders, especially if you're feeling like you're not getting good quality sleep right now. And we'll check in and see how your sleep hygiene is. What is that? Well, let's find out. Oh, Kathleen, I think it bounced all the way to the front, eh? Okay, I'm not going to scroll through this. I'm just going to stop sharing with you and I'm going to go back over to PowerPoint and do it myself. I don't know why. Why did it do that? Okay, here we go. Oh, I did it again. Okay. Where are you guys? There you are. All right. Oh my God, if it bounces. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to put it in full screen. I don't know why it wants to do that today. Because it's Monday, that's why.
If you go into slideshow, Catherine, you should be able to play from current slide. If you click the slideshow at the top, beside animations.
This one?
No, it says like, yeah, insert transitions, animations.
That's why, because I clicked start from beginning.
Are you in you have to go to the slideshow tab there. You're in insert right now. Perfect. And then just from current slide, there you go.
Look at that. This is a wall of text. So you will have access to the slide deck. So I'm just going to go forward a bit before I go backwards. So we're going to take a look at sleep hacks 1, 2, and 3. Hang on. Okay. See, these slides are a little different than my original one. So I'm just going to see how it's different. Okay. When we don't get a good sleep, you guys probably all know this. Some of these are a little shocking, but the effects of insufficient sleep, yeah, accidental death, impaired brain activity, little micro sleeps, moodiness, depression, weakened immune system, type 2 diabetes. I'm not going to read them all because these are depressing, but there's a lot of negative biological, physiological, mental health issues when we have poor sleep. But the good news is that it's free, it's abundant, it's almost always available, and it's a great source of energy. When I'm doing a workshop on energy, sleep is the #1 booster, but it's also the #1 robber. So to me, it's that critical to our overall health. So when I say easing into it, sometimes we're really hard on ourselves and we keep saying, I'm so tired. I have to get some sleep. I have a really big day tomorrow and I need to get some sleep. I have a big meeting. I'm traveling. Whatever it is, we put this pressure on ourselves to get that good night's sleep. We put our head on the pillow and then we get mad that we can't fall asleep. So understanding that going to sleep is, I like the analogy of it landing a plane. I'm going to come back to you because I don't want to look at my slides. It's like landing a plane. So you want to ease into your sleep routine each night. So getting ready for bed, taking that time to get whatever it is, your pajamas ready, brushing your teeth, washing your face, getting your bed ready, call it fluffing your nest, turning the lights down, turning the phones and electronics off. We'll go through some of these, closing the kitchen. But the idea is that you ease into it. And ideally, you take about an hour to ease into your sleep. So what it's doing is it's prepping your mind for sleep. We're getting ready for this. And as you build this routine, your mind will become accustomed to this is our bedtime routine, right? Children do it. You know, they get their stories or their bath time, but we don't do it. The other one, I'm not going to share my slide for a second, is and you've probably heard this before, is consistency. We all have a really natural internal clock, although we can't, our jobs and our school don't always let us live by that natural internal clock. So some studies have said, and you may have heard this, we have owls and larks and hummingbirds. So an owl is just like what it sounds like. It's a night owl. You're at your best cognitively. Later in the evening, you are not a morning person. You're probably the last one at the party. You're good studying in the middle of the night. You can pull that all-nighter as long as you can go to bed and sleep late in the morning. Larks are real morning people. If you are an owl and you have a lark in your house, they might annoy you. They're up when the sun comes up. So 5, 6 a.m. They're not just up, they're they're chirpy and chipper. See, I put those two words together. They enjoy those cognitive tasks earlier in the day. So if they're studying or writing, doing some writing or some report, anyway, something that's more cognitively demanding, morning. In the evening, they're a disaster. Whereas hummingbirds, they're maybe not 5, 6 a.m., but maybe 8, 9 a.m. And whereas larks go to bed around 9, 10 p.m., hummingbirds are kind of at their best throughout the day in little spurts, not super early, not super late. So what do you think you are in general? Like if you could work any hours you could, what 8 hours would you work? I think
Like
mine,
a specific, like from
yeah, like
this
mine would be 7 to 3. I'm definitely
Def-
a lark.
I'm a morning person. So 8 to 4,
Yeah.
something like that.
It's good to understand your natural rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're working a job or you have school time that's not in your most optimal time, right? So I'm a lark. And when I went to Laurentian, I had a lot of night classes, which were 7 to 10. And I was a disaster, but I knew that. So I would make sure that I would plan to take it easy before or even have a nap so that I wouldn't be a really moody, nasty person. When I get tired, I'm not very nice. So understanding that.
Sorry, Nicole has a question there.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, what I was going to say, I'm a lark, but I can handle any time. I noticed since I started school, I could handle any time. It doesn't matter.
That's awesome. That's really good.
I'm happy no matter what. Doesn't matter. Unless I'm really groggy, then some mornings I'll sleep in a little, like accidentally.
Yeah.
And then I get that deep sleep.
It's
and
nice.
I'm groggy.
But that's what I'm saying. If you could
Doesn't
wake up
happen.
without an alarm clock, if you didn't have a schedule, what would be like your hours of operation?
Lark. That's in the morning.
Yeah.
8 till 3, 4,
Yeah.
5.
So think about that. And then think about trying to get into that routine of a regular wake up time and a regular bedtime. And your mind, your body will adjust to that regularity. Like I said, just like we put children on regular bedtimes and regular wake up times. I don't know if any of you have children, if you like time change or a teacher. Oh, time change is not fun in classrooms. Kids are a disaster. So regularity, shift work is so hard on your body. And Dylan, you've probably done shift work before, right?
Yeah, I don't like shift work that much, and it was tough. Oh yeah, it took a toll on me pretty intensely.
It's hard with shift work. You're flipping, right? You're flipping mornings and nights, and you're expected to perform the same during both. I'll talk a little bit about the circadian rhythm later, but if you have people in your life that are shift workers, please just be, extra mindful and gentle with them. I was married to a shift worker for almost 13 years, and it was hard on the whole family. It really was. And I recognize it was also hard on him. So having that extra patience and kindness for shift workers. It's probably the most difficult for sleep disturbance. I don't know if you ever really get used to it. Okay, I'm just coming back over to here, and treat your bedroom as if it was a sanctuary, and this goes to sleep hygiene. So often our bedrooms sort of get the short end of the stick, right? Because our visitors don't come into our bedroom, so typically. So we keep our living rooms clean and we keep our kitchens clean, but the bedroom gets like the laundry thrown in and maybe the school books, and it sort of gets neglected. But if we can treat that as if it was like your nest, softer sheets, So washing your sheets at least once a week, pillowcases, maybe even more. You don't want to know the little bugs that come off of our skin and the skin shedding our skin. That's a different one. A nice supportive pillow can make all the difference. Making sure you have blackout curtains or a way to make your bedroom as dark as possible. Turning your alarm clock or your phone around so that you don't see the time. Trying to make your bed the place where you sleep as much as possible. When you can't sleep, don't stay in the bed. So your brain has this habitual, it's very habitual. It likes routine. And it's going to associate with the bed as the place where you study or watch TV or stay awake. So if you can't sleep, the best thing to do is to get up, change locations for a little bit, and then go back into your bed. And this one, and this is a tough one for me, I'm still working on it, is to try to banish TV and screens 1 hour before bed. So that's sleep hack number 3. So treating your space as a sanctuary. And I like to think of my bed as a charging station, like I do with my phone. So think of your body as the battery. We only have so much energy or so much in our bucket each day, right? And stress will drain that battery by half. If you wake up already tired, you're already drained. Couple that with maybe you're feeling sick. You have a big test coming up. All these different things eat away at that battery. And your bed is where you get to recharge it. So number 4 is keeping it cool. So I'm going to check in with you guys. So this is always a debate, especially with couples. How do you like your bedroom? Hot or cold? Cool or warm?
I freeze at first and I put tons of blankets and then I'm sweating like crazy when I wake up in the middle of the night.
Good. We have some people in the comments who are saying cool, lots of cold. Yeah, cool.
Cool is definitely better for you and better for your sleep.
For me, like in the middle, like not too cold because I'm usually always cold. I don't know why, especially my feet, but I don't like to sleep with socks. I don't like it.
Yeah.
But I can't sleep if it's too warm either. In fact, I was so cold one of these days that I bought a huge blanket at Costco and we put it on and it was too warm and we took it off. So now it's better, but it can be like too hot or too cold.
And temperature is one thing that will keep you awake. So they say 1 degree less than room temperature is ideal. I'll sleep with the window cracked all year long and have a fan on. There's one exception to this rule though, and that is your feet. If your feet are cold, you are going to stay awake. It's one of our extremities, right? Like our hands and our feet. So it's hard to get blood flow into those, especially if you have like low blood pressure, circulation problem. And Dylan, you're going to love one of my hacks for this coming up. So making sure your feet are warm, but your area is cool. So I know I don't like going to bed with socks on either, Alexandra, but if my feet are cold, I do notice that it irritates me and it will keep me up. So I'll put socks on for a while and then at some point I'll end up taking them off. Or an extra blanket just down at your feet is a great one too.
You can also put a bottle of water, hot water bottle.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I do that all the time. It's nice.
And then it sort of cools on its own, right?
Or you could train your cat to sleep on your feet all night, which is what mine does.
Mine sleeps by my face. So temperature, so cooler, on the cooler side for sure. Give me a second. Okay, banning stress from the bedroom. So let's see how brave you guys are. What does your nightstand look like right now? If I was to take a picture of your nightstand. Dylan's taking a look going, Mine's pretty messy.
I have a ton of books on my nightstand right now and a lamp. That's it.
I have pistachios, a fan, and the TV remotes.
Ooh.
Okay, so the reason I'm asking you this is because the nightstand is the place, it's the last kind of thing we see before we put our head on our pillow and we go to sleep. So if I'm lying there and I'm looking at my stack of books like Kathleen has, and it's, my physics and my biology and my math and my chem and my notebook, and then I'm like, oh my God, I didn't finish that and I have this. The visual reminder of your to-do list is right there in your face, and it's the last thing you see before you go to sleep, and you're going to potentially put that hamster on the wheel. So if it's those types of books that are on your bed, things that you think will cause you stress, take them off the nightstand and you just put them down on the floor. You don't want it to be the last thing you see before you go to sleep.
If I have my physics book beside me, I will have nightmares.
Me too. If I have your physics book beside me, that's my worst class. And then, like I said earlier, if you have not everyone has alarm clocks anymore. You have your phone. So just turn it over. What you don't want to see is, because often we will wake up in the night, right? Like we go through 4 to 5 stages of sleep each night. And we come back. We go through these waves about 4 times in a night, depending on how long you sleep, 4 to 6 times in a night. So you do come in and out of sleep, even though you don't think you do. And if you do, and you open your eyes and you're like, oh, it's, 3 a.m. and I haven't slept at all. Well, you have, but then you get irritated. Flip your phone over, turn your alarm clock around. These are just tips, so I'm not telling you what to do. I turn my ringer off, and I've been doing that for quite a while, and it's made all the difference. People say, well, what if there's an emergency? Trust me, I lived before cell phones. If there's an emergency, someone's going to find you. I promise. Okay. Any comments about your nightstand? You're all going to take a look at your nightstand, giving it a little wipe down. I know it sounds funny, but having it tidy before you go to sleep, the same is true of the floor. So if you have laundry all over the place, I'm not saying go do your laundry, but pick it up and put it in a hamper. Just having your sanctuary tidier before you put your head on your pillow will make a big difference. Oh, and here's a plug for next Tuesday. We're doing the Upside Down Book Club, and one of our ninjas is going to be telling us about the book Make Your Bed. So I think that'll be interesting. You can ask Kathleen about that after. Okay, I'm going to go back to sharing my screen for a little bit. Okay, the kitchen curfew. Oh, this one's tough this one's a tough one for people, but it's a habit again. But closing your kitchen optimally 3 hours before you go to bed. And this is because of your digestive system. So if you're crushing a pizza and then putting your head on the table, your digestive system is working overtime to digest that. So it's going to end up keeping you up, whether it's, the gargling, just the activity, or needing to go to the washroom. Sorry, but it's true. So trying 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed is great. Also, I think for anyone who's practicing intermittent fasting, it's fantastic. So I don't eat after 7, and I try not to eat before 11 a.m. Just having that sort of empty stomach when you wake up in the morning, giving your body a chance to just really reset is so good for you. And then I added in here some of the best foods to help with sleep: cherries, milk, bananas, sweet potatoes. I'll also add, my friend Dylan reminded me about chamomile tea the other day, and so I've been drinking that. That's been fantastic. The foods that aren't great for sleep are, dark chocolate. Can't see my screen here. Dark chocolate. Oh, nightcaps. So alcohol, spicy food, pop. So caffeine, of course, is going to wreak havoc on your sleep, as well as alcohol, which is a depressant. So if you've had a few drinks and you think, oh, it helped me to sleep, it really didn't. Your sleep was quite disturbed. And if you have one of those watches that tracks your sleep, you'll probably notice that you had a lot of awakefulness, a lot of sort of bouncing near, so sleep goes level 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4, 3, 2.
Sorry, what's a nightcaps? What is
A
nightcap?
nightcap alcohol.
Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna have a glass of wine, or I'm just gonna have a little drink before bed because it'll help me sleep.
Yeah.
I'm not saying
And-
don't drink, but don't drink because you think it's going to help you sleep.
You mentioned the chamomile tea, and I find that helps me a lot too. So we tried to have chamomile tea before we go to bed. We like to have that.
It's very soothing. Dylan, what are some other good teas you think before bed or to help with sleep?
Banana tea. So take an organic banana, cut off the tips, and boil. Rinse it off the banana, like give it a little scrub, and then boil that for 10 minutes. What I like to do is boil ginger, like a simmer, ginger and turmeric for 10 minutes. Then I throw the banana in, and then for another 10 minutes. So the ginger and turmeric's simmering for 20 minutes. The banana is simmering for 10. Add a bit of cinnamon, and the magnesium in the banana peel helps you sleep.
That sounds really delicious.
Yeah, and then you take the banana, it's going to be soft. Cut it in half, then throw it in your blender cup after it cools down. Throw it in your blender cup for the next morning. Your smoothie will be a little thick, but the peel is pretty soft at that point. And that's why I use an organic banana for that.
You may have to send us the recipe so we can share it with everybody.
I would love to add that.
Okay.
We should do nutrition with Dylan one day.
So anything magnesium related will be helpful. Like an Epsom salt bath is also helpful because magnesium inhibits glutamate, and glutamate's an excitatory neurotransmitter that kind of causes the brain to be involved in ruminative and cyclical type thought patterns. So magnesium is very helpful. Any kind of magnesium supplement, but banana peel tea is a good one.
Interesting. What are you taking, Dylan?
I took a PhD in neuroscience, and right now I'm taking addictions and mental health in graduate certificate program.
Good. That's great.
I'm going to add that magnesium, and the Epsom salt's really good because I do mention the bath, but not for the reason people think. That's
Yes,
awesome.
the bath is very relaxing too, and the Epsom salts help relax the muscles and with the muscle soreness and all that.
Yeah, I knew it helped with my muscles that are getting old, but I didn't know that it helped me to sleep. So that's really good. Okay, so we did kitchen curfew. Just gonna keep rolling along here. So 7, 8, and 9. So meditation. Whether you've tried it or not, it does help to quiet the noise in our mind. Like I say, the hamster on the wheel. I like guided meditations myself. YouTube is just a treasure trove for guided meditations. If you're new to meditation, that's what I would recommend, and doing a shorter one. You can search for specific types of meditations too. So whether it's for stress or sleep or, oh my gosh, there's so many. They have children's meditations. I've done them with my son, who sometimes has some mental health issues. We've done them from the time he was 6, and sometimes at night I can hear him listening to some of the guided meditations for kids. They have them visualize balloons and rocket ships, and when he was doing them when he was younger, he probably only made it 2 or 3 minutes. And this was a kid who was, really distraught before bed, and within 2 or 3 minutes he was asleep. So
could you say that again? Sorry.
Yeah.
You mentioned this. What is it? Because I have kids too.
Oh, guided meditation on YouTube.
Meditation.
And you can just type for children.
For kids?
For children, for kids, yeah.
Oh, how old's your kid now?
He's 14 now.
Okay.
But I can still hear him once in a while revert back to it. So it's a great tool for kids, a great habit to get into too. I know they're starting to do it in elementary school. We have 10 minutes of meditation with our counselor, Alicia, every Thursday from 12 until 12:10 through Zoom. So if you wanted to try meditation with Alicia, she is a mindfulness expert. So you can come, it's on your My Cambrian page, just scroll down. It's a good reminder. I come and go from the habit of meditation. Usually I go back to it probably later than I should, usually when I'm really stressed out and I reach for meditation as my tool. If I reach for it sooner, I probably would help that more, but I'm not perfect either.
One trick, you guys, when I do the meditation, I actually combine it with the legs up the wall pose. If you've ever heard of that with yoga, you basically put your butt right next to the wall and put your legs up, just like in that picture there.
That's
It's
what
so
it is.
good.
So I'll go over to that one because Kathleen, that's perfect segue. This is influence for you too, Dylan. This is legs up a wall pose. And this one is a great one to try before bed. Well, actually, you can try it anytime, doesn't matter. So it's just scooching. You can actually, I do this in bed sometimes too. So I don't necessarily do it with a wall, but if you have the wall, then you have the support. You don't have to hold your own legs up. Scoot your butt towards the wall, put your legs up, and you can open your arms up to the side. And this is really going to help. It relaxes your breath. Having your legs up on the wall helps circulate that blood that maybe has been sitting down in your feet. If you've been walking on your feet all day, and it really helps to quiet that hamster on the wheel. I'm going to come back to my yoga guru. What do you think, Dylan, about the legs up the wall pose?
Yeah, I like that in any kind of restorative yoga. Yin is a good thing to do before bed. Yin is those poses you hold for like 20 breaths, which ultimately is poses that are like 20 minutes per pose. But restorative yoga is nice to do also. That's where you just lie on cushions. The legs up the wall is kind of restorative yoga pose.
So you guys can Google restorative yoga too if you wanted to check out, what that is in the privacy of your own home. It's great to have this opportunity. Awesome. I like waking up with legs up the wall too. It's a nice stretch. Oh, okay. This one's always controversial. Coming back to you, reading. How many of you read before bed?
I like reading fiction. It gets the right hemisphere going, and then I dream a lot more when I read fiction. Nonfiction is, I'll read nonfiction for a bit, then I'll read fiction before I go to bed.
I also read fiction before bed, but my problem is I need to know how the book ends. So sometimes I have a hard time putting the book down. So some people might experience that too. I'm up really late.
That's the rub, right? If you and I find people who read fiction who get absorbed in the stories kind of need to monitor their time. I know for me it taxes my mind when I'm reading fiction before bed, so that's why I do read fiction before bed, because it does quiet my mind down. So reading is great. The research here says an old-fashioned like paper book versus a Kobo or an electronic reader. I'm not telling you not to read. I do know they have some pretty good blue light filters on the readers now, and some of them have the real white pages that mimic real paper. So I imagine it's getting probably a little closer to real paper, but just watch that light. So again, that's your circadian rhythm. All right, I'm going to come back over here. But yeah, fiction has been shown to be better for our sleep, because often when we're reading nonfiction, it's either for work, it's work related, or it's school related, or you're creating a presentation or working on something. And so it can cause that worry, even excitement. And I like that. I do tend to dream about the book and the characters when I'm reading fiction too. Reading fiction also helps to boost your empathy. So I think that's another great bonus. So 10, 11, 12, banning screens. We talked about this 1 hour before bed. That includes your cell phone, your TV, your laptop, tablet, all of the above. This is the one I struggle the most with. Because our body is so sensitive to light, especially blue spectrum light. And what it does is it sort of keeps the serotonin going, which tells our brain the sun is up, it's daytime, it's time to wake up. And what we want is melatonin. And when it's in that darkness that the melatonin is secreted, and that's what is telling your body to slow down, it's time for sleep now. So between those two things, that's why I said bring lights down before bed. So you'll see, I'm going to skip one there, mimicking the sunlight. So dimming the lights around dinner time to start to mimic the sunset. And this is great for shift workers. So they can be getting home as the sun's coming up, but when they get home, to start to lower the lights. I'm trying to sleep in total darkness. So those blackout curtains are going to make a big difference. My sleep mask sometimes will help me too, to keep the darkness. People who have roommates may have a light on here or there. I don't know. Some people have 5 Christmas trees in their house, and the lights from the Christmas trees can keep people up too, apparently. Switching to night setting on your electronics will lower blue light emissions too. Some people have special glasses. I know Kathleen's wearing hers, or a special screen protector like over your screen that will also dim the blue light emissions. Going back, yes, I think that's it for that. I'm going to come over to you guys and see what you think about the light. What's your space like for light? I was making fun of myself with the Christmas trees, by the way. That was me, in case you were wondering.
Like the light regarding the sleep?
Yeah.
In the bedroom, the light in the bedroom. I don't like to sleep with any light. If I see any light, it bothers me. Like the washroom light or any light. I have to have everything dark. However, in the bathroom, I like to have like a little like night, those plugins.
Yeah.
Things. Because I don't like to turn the light on and I need to.
Well, you don't want to go to the bath. Yeah, you don't want it to be totally dark either, right?
Exactly. So I have those plugins, like little. What are they called?
Yeah, they're just little plug-in, little night lights.
Yes.
Yeah, I've actually seen some fancy ones on toilets that light up, so those are kind of nice too.
We haven't.
But my my problem too is the TV, like turning off the TV and having the break, like the 1 hour nothing before going to bed. Is like I'm so busy during the day that at night I want to, like, if I have the time to watch the show, I watch the show, but then at the same time I want to check my cell phone.
I know, I'm with you.
What's going on around the world?
This is the one I'm not working for me.
My problem. And also, like you mentioned before, sometimes in my case, sometimes it takes me a long time to fall asleep because I'm thinking for the next day or what I did or what I'm gonna do, or thinking too much. And
that meditation will help with that.
Mm-hmm.
So we have an interesting comment in the chat here about light, actually, saying, I have a contrary method. I use my phone and set the night light mode to rather low light temperature and actually sleep easier by this method. Which is kind of interesting.
That is for sure.
I have a similar approach. I like to slowly darken my room over time, as opposed to just like bright lights and then no light. So I like to kind of have soft lighting for a bit and then slowly remove.
Yeah, that's what the sleep hack said, like around dinner time, just start lowering lights. I'm not turning my Christmas tree lights off, though. They're even on right now. But yeah, so mindful of light. Have you guys heard, are any of these hacks resonating with you that you're like, I'm going to try that one? Have you guys picked your one yet?
I've been doing that for a while. They're really helpful. I'm going to get to do some meditation. I'm going to listen to some, the nighttime music that they have, like calm music, kind of ocean sounds. That was helpful for me a while ago when I really had a hard time. But I do the screen trick, like it's 3 hours before, 2 to 3 hours before bed, no screens. I have a Philips wake up light that's really good for alarm clock waking up in the morning, but it also has like a dimming sunset feature. And
I've seen these. I want one.
Yeah, those are pretty nice. I don't really spend too much money on stuff, but that Philips wake up light alarm clock's great.
That's perfect. So right now we're having a student college hack, life hack challenge on Goose Chase. And one of the life hacks is about sleep. And so we're trying to load up a huge gift bag related to those different life hacks. So I'm going to add the Philips alarm clock to that basket.
Wow, that'll be nice for people.
Well, yeah, it's the gift basket's worth $600. So I'm going to keep adding to it.
I think for me, the thing I've had to be more cognizant of is like our amount of screen time. A lot of us are doing a lot of virtual classes. We're on our computers constantly. We're having to use them. Like we can't really get away from it. So it's starting to be, this kind of touches in with like the study strategies and stuff we talked about last week, or even just doing homework. You can still do homework in the evenings, but maybe start trying to shift away from the computer as much as you can at that point. Print off your assignments at that point, have some physical flashcards later on. So you're not just on the screen leading up to bedtime, like the first few hours up to bedtime. I just suggest you kind of try to get off the computer in the evenings if you can.
It is hard though. I get it. I'm going to try Tuck's strategy too. I know that there's some really interesting meditation apps too that uses the phone with the lights. So you inhale and exhale with the lights. So things change. I think just watching the blue light emissions, and I think all cell phones now are cognizant of the blue light emissions. You guys were saying, I think it was Dylan, you were mentioning like the different sounds. Like having that fan on, like mimicking white noise, but on YouTube they have pink noise, and pink noise is supposed to be really great for sleep too. And there's different sound waves in different videos. Is it the alpha waves that you want or the beta waves? Can't remember.
So what happens is visualization is helpful falling asleep too, because the waves emanate from the occipital cortex, the back of the brain. So that's why you'll start having visualizations as you're falling asleep. It starts, I forget what the exact wave, might be, I don't forget the exact waveform, but it starts to shut down the thalamus. So these waves of visual stimuli, like when your eyes are closed, starts to shut down the thalamus, the sensory input to the brain, which then initiates the sleep patterns.
Is that why when I'm meditating, I like see all these things because I'm getting like into more of like a sleep mode?
Yeah. Right at that edge of sleep and wakefulness is where you'll have that imagery, and I believe it's alpha rhythms.
I know there's a sound that they try to emanate that sound wave to help with sleep. Mm-hmm. But YouTube has it all. All right, I'm getting there. Okay, I like to talk too much. Exercising earlier in the day. So just if you're going to have like a harder workout, not doing it right before you go to sleep. So you don't want to sort of, your body's going to be in complete activation mode, ready to go, but you're like, no, it's bedtime. Sorry, we just did that 2-hour killer workout. The exception to this, of course, is like yoga, like a yin yoga, a restorative, relaxing type yoga. Otherwise, if you're doing hardcore cardio, your dopamine's going to be like, woohoo, let's party. But working out, have regular exercise during the day is definitely going to help you have a better night's sleep. So 13, 14, 15, wearing socks, like I said, because our feet tend to, our extremities, especially if you have low blood pressure, like I do, your feet and hands are probably cold a lot. And so will help with blood flow and heat loss through your feet. I love the hot water bottle at the bottom of like at your feet. I'm going to try that. So let's talk about baths, and I'm going to add Epsom salts to this slide. So taking a soak. So baths are great. It prepares you for sleep. And it's not because it's relaxing. It's because our core temperature rises in the tub and then it falls when we get out. I would also say that our core temperature drops when we get into the tub because we've taken our clothes off and we're standing in a room naked. And then we get in the tub, our temperature rises with the warm water, and then it falls when we get out of the tub. And that really mimics what happens when we get drowsy. So our core temperature fluctuates the same way. So our mind is like, ooh, I know what this core temperature fluctuation is. This is sleep. I found this probably one of the most fascinating pieces when I was researching sleep, because I do love to have a bath before bed. And blocking out noise. So we talked about that. If you have a partner who snores or noisy neighbors, a lot of times students will have like roommates, thin walls, traffic, like Benoit and Kathleen were saying with the ambulances. So there's great white noise machines. There's pink noise on YouTube you can have without any picture, any screen. I like earplugs. I also sleep with a fan year round. I did put a little link in there to pink noise and what it is. How do you guys find your noise levels? What do you use to block out noise?
I use a fan. Always. I came up with a strategy when I was in the same position as a lot of you in school. I had 5 other roommates. We all had very different schedules. People like to party till 2 in the morning. And I just found that putting the fan on, it just started to kind of get rid of all that outside noise so I could fall asleep.
Nicole?
Oh, I'm just thinking before I go to bed, this is not to go to bed.
It's okay.
I would relax with like a flute sound music
Nice.
on the phone, and that kind of relaxes me way before I go to bed.
That's a great strategy too.
So in the chat, there's a question actually about baths, and somebody thought that they had read that it's bad for your health to have a bath before you go to sleep. Anybody else heard that?
It's the wet hair, I think, is what's not the good thing.
It'll raise your blood pressure, I believe, right? The heat. It's going to depend on your health. Dylan?
At certain temperatures, it's equivalent to like a 20-minute jog. If you haven't, I like putting the water pretty hot, but yeah, it could be equivalent to a 20-minute jog if it's hot enough to give you that sensation.
So I guess if it's too hot, it's probably not. You want it warm, like warm, hot.
Yeah, I like it hot personally, and I find that I notice that effect too. The temperature rise and then it drops, and then initiates that kind of sleep pattern. But especially with the Epsom salts.
Yeah, I'm doing that tonight. Okay. And if you don't have a bath, someone was asking, will shower mimic the same thing? And you won't be able to get the Epsom salts, I guess, for the shower, but it should have a similar effect. The only thing is you're not in prone position.
You can have a scrub.
Oh, an Epsom, yeah.
Salt scrub before taking a shower.
I like that.
Yeah.
Look at us learning.
Got oil.
Catherine, may I ask you to share in the chat some the meditations you like, or the any kind of some of those sleep hacks that you like the meditation, or any kind of, I think you had pink noise in the slide.
Yeah.
Any other kind of calming stuff you like that's free on YouTube?
Ooh, you know what? Honestly, I use different ones. I just go into YouTube and in the moment, and I just Google guided meditation for sleep, guided meditation for, and maybe I don't even know what I'm looking for. And then I let YouTube pick like all the menu of guided meditations, but I always do the search guided meditation because I'm not good just being left to my own thoughts.
Cool. I'll look that up.
Yeah, I don't have a favorite person. I tend to go with the ones that have the most views. I'm not a guru with meditation at all. I will say Alicia in our center is like, she's studied a lot and she's gone 2 workshops with Kristen Neff, who is the world class leader in mindfulness. So if you have 10 minutes on Thursdays to pop in, you may get a one-on-one with Alicia. She can definitely help you with some different resources. You have an expert right there. And often no one goes on Thursdays, so it'd be great.
I have to check that out. It's a Thursday at noon. I just like the Zoom link.
Yeah, it's just 10 minutes.
And you just look that up
on your My Cambrian.
Yeah.
On your welcome page. And this is where, like, a lot of people, you have to scroll down and you get all the Zoom links for everything going on.
Cool.
So it's called A Moment of Meditation, and she's going to do it until the Christmas holidays.
That's under My Links.
Or
under links.
I'm not sure. I'm not seeing the My Cambrian. Hi, Benoy's little guy. All right. I think, oh no, we have one more hack to do, eh? Oh yeah, plus a bonus. Leaving cares behind, and you guys noted this, that worries, things that your to-do list, things that are weighing on your mind. And the reason why these all just tend to come up, right? But you put your head on your pillow and wham bam, right? You've got everything that was worrying you in the day right there in your face, in your sleep space, right? Because we tend to push things down, right? Like pushing a ball down in a bucket of water. Get to that later, get to that later. But as soon as we shut the screens down and we shut down that monkey brain, put our head on the pillow, well, that ball pops right back up through the pail of water. It's like, hey, remember me? I'm here. So being able to take some time during your day to like brain dump your to-do list. I know it's old school, but like I keep like a running list of things to do. And then just before I head upstairs, I'll look it over and add anything else to it. Gone. They do this across different cultures. Like in Mexico, they have little worry dream dolls. So children take the worry doll, they tell it the worry before they go to bed. They put the worry doll under their pillow at night, and then their worries go away. Indigenous people have dream catchers. There's all different sorts of things like this, and not to take the magic out of it, but when we're sleeping and we get into that restorative sleep, when we get into those deep levels of sleep, our bodies reconcile those memories and those to-do lists. To me, it's like they're putting things in different cabinets, right? That goes in the wellness cabinet, that goes in the mom cabinet, and that's all a bunch of garbage. We always wake up in the morning usually feeling like, oh my God, that thing yesterday seemed like it was a mountain and it's just a molehill today. So the doll didn't like take the worries away. Being able to shut that down and say, okay, well, my doll's going to worry about it, not me, is sort of a neat mind trick. So this is the adult version of that. So taking a moment to just brain dump not right before you go to bed, but a little bit before you go to bed will help subside that, because you've given it to that piece of paper now. Like, yeah, it's written down somewhere. I'm not going to forget it. One of my friends pretends she has a board of directors, a dream board of directors. And she sort of pictures these 5 people or whatever in her sleep. And she's like, listen, you guys, take care of all these things I'm worried about tonight while I'm sleeping, make all the decisions. And when I get up in the morning, I'm going to feel great. I know it sounds silly, but like Dylan said, visualization, that's working. And that's her trick. So that's a great hack for worry. And let's face it, that's usually what keeps us up at night, is stress and worry. So our minds aren't perfect. If you're worrying about the test in 2 weeks, or the test you wrote yesterday, let's say, your mind doesn't understand that you're not writing that test in the exact moment that you're thinking about it. It puts you into stress response as you're thinking about it. Oh, we're writing the test now again for the 8th time today? Great. So understanding that your minds aren't perfect, and being able to let go. That's why the meditation really helps, because it gets you into your deeper restorative breath versus that shallow breathing. Puts you into your parasympathetic nervous system. Right, Dylan? Okay, I always get those two mixed up. All right. Bear with me. I think napping. And then I do have a list of apps here for you before I let you guys go. I lost you guys. There we go. I'll show you. And again, you have access to these slides. So here are some these are some great apps. There may be even some more that have come out since making this. And I missed the power of napping. So there's a lot of debate around napping and if it's good or bad. And I think the science here is a little fuzzy. But what it does agree on is that shorter naps, like 20 to 30 minutes is the optimal nap time. When you have one of those naps, when you wake up and you feel like, I don't know what day it is or where I am, it's going to be hard for you to get that motor going. I will say sleeping has baffled scientists for a long time. But one thing they do know is that when you're tired and you you feel like you need to sleep, it's because your body's telling you something. So if you need sleep, get sleep. That's really as deep as it gets with sleep science, that your body knows when to shut you down. And if it's shutting you down, there's a reason for it. Is everyone tired now?
For me, like I like to have a nap, but when I have tried to have a nap, it takes me a while to to have the nap. And if I have the nap, then I wake up more tired.
Yeah.
Like
So
my
you know that
eyes
about
are
yourself.
like ticked together, glued together, so it's hard.
And I think knowing that about yourself, like these aren't, cookie cutter approaches. I have a really hard time falling asleep, and I'm a light sleeper. So yeah, instead of a nap, I think, Alexandria, look at it as I'm just going to go, like I'm going to rest. So I just go,
Yes.
I close my eyes, I lie down, but I don't put the
Yes.
pressure on myself to have a nap.
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
When I had kids, everyone's like, sleep when the kids sleep. And I put so much
No.
pressure, and I got
Yeah.
so angry with myself that I couldn't sleep when my kids were sleeping. As soon as I let that go, it was fine.
Because when they're sleeping, you feel like you want to do something else or something.
But I know, I feel like, okay, they're asleep. Now I have to sleep and go.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that. It's like landing a plane, remember? Just gradual. So Miss Kathleen, you'll share the PowerPoint?
You'll have to send me yours again. I don't think I have that version of it.
Okay, the one I have is 1 and 2 together.
Yeah, I think that was the one Amber had created originally. So
okay.
Yeah, if you just send it to me, I'll make sure all the students get it for sure.
Okay. Do you guys have any questions or comments? I want to know from you right now, which one sleep hack are you going to try?
I'm going to try meditation, and I'm going to do one other one, is the calming noises.
Okay, awesome. What when it? Yeah, I haven't heard of the Leonardo. Leonardo, what was it? Screens away. Thanks, Vanessa.
Leonardo da Vinci's sleep schedule, just 20-minute naps every 4 hours.
No. Try it. Let us know how it works. What one are you going to try, Nicole?
I'd like to try the meditation. The only thing is I'd have to get up and bring the phone to the living room so I don't hear the ding in the middle of the night.
Can you turn your ringer off?
Yeah, but I always have a hard time turning it back on. It seems to, I don't know. Maybe I don't know how to work it. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, it just buggers up I can't hear anything after, and it's, oh my God. But I could turn the whole thing off. Yeah. It's just my mom has hers on, and she has it in the next door room. And this, like, in the middle of the night, last night, it was like, ding, ding. No.
Yeah.
So I just grabbed it, brought it in the living room. I'm out of here. It's out of here, man. Anyway, sorry.
All good. Alexandra, is there one you're going to try?
I want to try several. I want to try like the app, the meditation, the music, the calming apps. Also like trying to disconnect from the screen or TV or phone before going to bed. It's very important. And trying to get like 7 hours of sleep.
Yeah, try. And maybe Dylan can share that recipe with Kathleen, and you can send it along with the slides.
I'm trying not to think a lot when I fall asleep, when I'm trying to fall asleep, especially now there is only like 3 weeks left and 1 week of exam. It's like, yeah.
So if you have some time during the day, maybe just writing down, or even just writing out your worries on like a worry map, like just a worry dump. I'm worried about and just write it out like a journal.
Yeah, good idea.
Usually when you do that, I have people circle the things that they can control on that list and cross out the things they can't control. Circle the things that are immediate attention and cross out the ones that are not. circle the ones that other people can help you with and cross out the ones that are not. And you'll see that there's only a few left.
Thank you.
That's another workshop though.
I'm going to try the banana.
Me too.
That's a great idea. I keep seeing it online. I never do it. I think about it, but that's it. I'm going to try it.
That's okay. That's what these workshops are for. Accountability and inspiration.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Catherine. I will make sure that the information gets sent out to all of you who participated today. As a reminder, we are moving into Conquer Your Test-Taking Fears next week and the week after. Next week will be me presenting, so talking specifically about some test-taking strategies when you're right in the middle of the test. And then the following week, we'll be talking about test anxiety and just how to manage that. So if you either of those, strike your interest, then definitely come on by. We will make sure to send out the Zoom link to all of you in the morning, and you can always register for those in advance if it's something that's really interesting to you. All right. Thank you all so much again. I hope you all get a really great restful sleep tonight, and hopefully we will see all of you next week.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Thank you. We will get these PowerPoints?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, we'll send them.
That's great. Thank you.
Dreams.
I gave those cards to the library today, Catherine.
Bye-bye.
Oh, awesome. Thanks, Dylan.
Thanks for everything, eh?
Yeah. See you
Thank
soon.
you.
If I don't see everybody, have a great holiday season.
Thank you.
You too.
Bye.
Take care.
Kathleen, do you got 5 minutes?
I have an appointment right now,
okay.
Nicole. I'm so sorry, but send me an email and I'll try to get back to you by the end of the day. Okay.
All right. Okay.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.